Good morning, everyone. Uh, Yesterday we celebrated the Earth Day, and we know there is a climate emergency in the state, in the country, worldwide, and we need to take steps to green the area so that we don't feel the heat that we are feeling today. We had the TCP Minister, Vishwajit Rane, talking about creating green lungs in the city, in the urban areas, which is a good thing. But what he is saying and what he is doing, they are completely opposite. In Panjim, we have seen that the recreational area which is there in flood-prone areas, construction has been permitted in these flood-prone areas, which is not permitted. Besides, high-rise construction permissions are also given. Now we have a government order, a notification dated 14/9/2022, that is September, of the Chief Town Planner, published in Government Gazette, Series 2, number 25, dated 22nd September 2022, and I'll read out what the notification says. The areas such as low-lying paddy fields, water bodies, khazan land, flood-prone areas, I repeat, flood-prone areas, land having slopes more than 25%, forest land including private forest land, land falling in the buffer zone of wildlife sanctuaries, and tenanted agricultural land shall not be considered for change of zone. Again I repeat, shall not be considered for change of zone during the preparation of the ODP for planning areas. But what do we see? The government is going against its own rules. When the ODP of Panjim was made 2021, GBA had challenged it in the High Court. The High Court had given a stay, and the High Court had said that only ODP 2011 could be operated. So what the government has done today, in name they are saying they are giving permission under ODP 2011, but they have amended other rules and they are giving construction permission with higher FAR and higher height, which is not permissible under the state ODP 2021. There are three projects on government land where we can see this clear violation. I'll request Patricia to read out those. One is the Panjim Park.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll talk about that. You'll have recreational. This is like cheating the people. You show it's green. Okay, so why should we object? We are so happy it's green. But when I went to check the explanatory note that is right down there in very small letters, number 4 says the change of zone affected in the area stroke plots by the government, which is not reflected in the plan, shall also be treated as part of ODP. So are we going to town planning to check what they are doing to that plan, so that we know that that is what the plan should be, a plan which is a clear plan for people to see. So I feel that these ODPs, regional plans, are just plans to be put on the wall. What is actually happening is something else. Government is just changing zoning as they like it. You know, we NGOs are always normally termed as anti-development by those who have private interest. These are the people who always say these NGOs are anti-development. We are not anti-development. We speak for the people of the city, we speak for Goa, and we are all going to be very badly hit by a disaster that is waiting to happen. We earnestly request the GCZMA, this is an authority under the Ministry of Environment and Forest, set up to protect the coast, the not to give approvals blindly. They have given approvals to this entertainment hub blindly. Don't they know it's a flood-prone area? How could they do that? Blindly and under pressure. I feel they should do their job without fear, and if they cannot, I think they should resign and go home, because name today is much more important than just a job, and you're just there to give in to the pressures that come to you. So GCZMA, I would request them earnestly to protect our flood-prone areas. We are in danger. People of Panjim are in danger. And then afterwards taking our bodies to the morgue is not going to solve the problem once Panjim areas are flooded. Let's avert the danger right now. The CRZ laws also are not anti-development, because that objective is to promote development through sustainable manner on scientific principles. They are also saying to promote development, but on scientific principles, taking into account the dangers of natural hazards in the coastal area and sea level rise due to global warming. Even CRZ is talking about this. So all the government has to do is implement this, not go against the CRZ laws and the order of their own chief town planner. I have a small message for Mr. Vishwajit Rane. Dear Mr. Vishwajit Rane, the people of Panjim and Goa need to live a life without fear of flooding. We have seen what happened in Jammu and Kashmir yesterday. Just a cloud burst can get Panjim flooded. We welcome in the map, yeah, the flooding and all is in the map, okay? We do welcome the greening by the urban minister through the Miyawaki technique that he's going to use. It's great. We all want our urban spaces, whether here, Margao, Vasco, Mapsa, everywhere to be green. We welcome that. We know that climate change is here. Heat is unbearable. All of us feel it. Pollution levels are very high from traffic that is coming into the city, air pollution as well as water pollution. I'm going to talk more about Panjim because I know Panjim more, being an ex-councillor of Panjim, and I live here. So while the same thing could be applicable in some other ways to the other cities, I'll be concentrating more on Panjim. So the examples I'll give is Panjim centric. Now, while the forest minister or the urban minister, as you call him, is talking about greening on one hand, the other hand, as town and country planning minister, the town planning department is rezoning our lands, and rezoning our lands through the clause that has been inserted in the regulations, and they're giving higher FAR and heights. We are getting 12 floors, 14 floors, 15 floors or more, I don't know. This means that the zoning is always connected with your height and your FAR. This means you're changing the zoning. You may call it height and FAR, but actually you're changing the zoning of that particular land. What are we getting? More concrete, more traffic, more people, more heat. We're getting all this, and he's thinking of greening, very good. But at the same time, we should stop doing what we are doing to create more heat in the city. I will talk about 3 government areas, and we suggest these 3 areas in Panjim for the urban minister, Mr. Vishwajit Rane, to green using the Miyawaki technique. One is Panjim Park. I don't know if you all are familiar with Panjim Park. This is opposite Hotel Mandovi. There was this quarter deck there earlier. Now it is closed. Now this is a recreation area. That is why it's called Panjim Park. 5% FAR only in recreation area. What has the government done? Changed the height and FAR to 300 FAR. From 5 to 300, 295 more in our recreation area. And for what is this? This is to have an entertainment hub. I don't know whether we need more entertainment in our city. We've got enough of entertainment. We have enough of clubs. We have festivals. We have, what is the one there? Exhibitions.
Musical
we have
shows.
everything. Musical shows, carnival festivals, shigmo. We have enough of entertainment. We don't need more entertainment. But this entertainment hub, I feel, is catering to the casinos. Because if you look at that, the whole river side is taken over by jetties, by casinos. Everything is catering to casinos. Forget the people of Panjim. So they're going to have an entertainment hub. Now this particular area, if you look at the map that is attached here, you will see it is flood prone. It is flood prone. We have just seen yesterday or day before, Jammu and Kashmir got flooded because of cloud burst. It doesn't mean only the sea will rise. There can be any way, any hazard, and this can happen. And these are very, dangerous areas that can be flooded. What will happen to the people of Panjim? I wonder if the TCP minister even thinks about that. So these are flood-prone areas, and we have we have the notification, the orders issued by the Chief Town Planner, and clearly, which Sabina read out to you all, and it said in this order, land shall not be flood-prone land, okay, all the other lands, flood-prone included, shall not be considered for change of zone. So when the TCP, Chief Town Planner, is saying land cannot be considered for change of zone, who is changing the zone?
From the GBA, if the government goes ahead with these 3 projects.
No, we will not let them go ahead with these 3 projects. We will take them on this. We are not going to keep quiet because this is not, forget the 3 projects are bad for Panjim. They are bad for Panjim also being in flood-prone areas. Does the government want us to die? Are they for the people or are they for private interest? This is very important. I think all these politicians should be asked, are they voted to power to work for the people or just a few individuals who want to make that money? This is not. They have to work for the people of Goa. And we fight till the end for this.
You should question.
Yeah, there is.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
The thing is, आम्ही आता पळयला स्मार्ट सिटी कितले स्मार्ट जाला ते सगळे खबर आसा. पण जे पावस पडल्यार हर एक जुनाक आम्ही दोपरभर उदकान वयचेच पडटा 18 जून रस्त्यान. You take that as a benchmark. What kind of futuristic and scientific planning is there? ते ना वैज्ञानिक आणि मागीर किती करप सगळी खाती आसा म्हणल्यार कन्सल्टंट हाडटा कोट्यांनी पैसे दिवन अजून पासून एक सादो ड्रेन एंड फ्लडिंग क्वेश्चन हे सॉल्व जाला पणजे खातीर जाल्यार बाकीचे येवजात तुम्ही किती जाला ते आणि हे 40 मीटर्स हायट म्हणल्यार कितें एक माळ्याची हायट 3 मीटर म्हणटरी 20 माळ्याच्यो बिल्डिंग्यो येतल्यो तुमकां वत सुद्दां येवपाना म्हणल्यार उदक आयलें जाल्यार तेंय बी सुकपाना म्हणटरी आमी कितें पाण्यातले माशे जावपाचे लोकांनी पीपल शुड लिव अंडर वॉटर. व्हॉट इज द सी लेवल एट पॅन्जिम? पोर्तुगीजांनी प्लॅन केल्ले तुमकां समजू शकले ना. हांव म्हणटा खात्रेन म्हणटा यू शुड लर्न फ्रॉम अदर्स गुड सायंटिफिक थिंग्स एंड प्लॅनिंग्स foresighted ones because they planned we are surviving till today but what the government is planning today is a disaster in a day only. You see Panjim only when it rains. The smart city is a big fat disaster and it's a drain of the exchequer. आम्ही पैसे आमचे पैसे पिळून खाता तुम्ही. Even on popcorn you will take money from us. But the rich are given higher FARs which are anti-development, which the court has said it is wrong, with the chief town planner saying it is wrong. आणि मजेची गजाल म्हणल्यार अर्बन मिनिस्टर, फॉरेस्ट मिनिस्टर, TCP मिनिस्टर तोच मनीस. हांगा गेला तो मी नव्हेच, थंय गेल्यार हा मी आहेच. कितें चल्लां गोंयांत? म्हाका दिसना आनी कोणे कितें हाजेर येवजिवपाची गरज आसा म्हणून. सत्य आसा ते आमकां तोंडार मारता ते आमी पळोवपाक धैर्य करपाक जाय.
Who were there for years and years, are they dirtying the water now? And your casino boats are so beautiful and so clean and they are not dirtying the water. So we are telling the fishermen to move out and see what the CRZ notification says. The objective, one objective is to ensure livelihood security to fishermen communities and other local communities living in coastal areas. So are we looking after our fishermen communities, or we want them to get out and we say let the casinos remain? We're going to have entertainment hub, we are going to have artificial skiing, we are going to have artificial whatever, skydiving. All this is for people who come to casinos. We don't want anything artificial. We want our Panjim to be natural. We've seen what has happened in Wayanad. We've seen what has happened in Uttarakhand, yes, and yesterday in Jammu and Kashmir. You just need a cloud burst for flooding to happen. Is the government after that going to rush to try to save people who are flooding, or do we stop this before it happens? And already flood prone areas are marked. For what is that? Just to color a map? Or to take some action to avert all these dangers that can happen because of flooding. One more area we have is Foodlands. That Foodlands where the Miramar residency is, that whole area which is government land, institutional, also has been changed to 300 FAR. So can you imagine all tall buildings, for what and for whom? And why this extra FAR that is coming up? This is what the town planning minister is doing on one side, and the other side he's pretending to love the urban cities and wants to green it to make the air less polluted for us. And so one hand of his doesn't know what the other hand is doing. All this could be brought up in if we had a Gram Sabha, like the 73rd Amendment. Unfortunately, in cities we have the 74th Amendment. We don't have the 73rd. So people don't have a direct say whether we want that entertainment hub, whether we want that ropeway, whether we want that 5-star that is coming up in Foodlands. We have no say. Government thinks that they own all government lands. We elect them so that they will look after everything. The land is ours, it belongs to the people. They just have to look after. It doesn't mean they own it and they can do what they want with it because they are the government. So I think there's something going wrong here. Government land doesn't belong only to government. Governments keep changing. It doesn't belong only to government, it belongs to the people of Goa. So this is what they are doing to all government lands. We hope the minister will walk the talk and green these 3 spaces. First of all, revert what they have done. Take off that height and FAR of 300 FAR, come back to the original zoning of that area. And we want to see this, then we'll know if he's really serious about it. When I went to check the ODP of Panjim, I mean you have to give your objection suggestions, so the ODP 2031 is out. So I went to check that and I find that the same changing the zone is the town and country planning department that is changing the zone. So if you are going to break your own orders, to go against your own orders and to go against the CRZ regulations in force, I think that is most illegal, and has to be reverted, stopped. So we would suggest that greening first be done in our recreation area. I still talk about it as a recreation area, as I will explain to you later what our ODP of Panjim shows it as. We have another area. This is one. We have another area that is between the swimming pool and the indoor sports stadium. Now there, it's government land. These are all I'm talking about are government lands. I'm not talking about private lands. Here, the government wants to put a passenger ropeway along with ancillary tourism activities. Now, this passenger ropeway is going from Panjim to Rej Magush. In Rej Magush, a plot belonging to the Comunidad, 8,000 square meters has been taken. This is orchard land. So to put up all buildings or whatever you need for the ropeway there, you will have to cut trees. What greening are we talking about? If the minister wants to green an area, green the area. Don't cut trees. So this is orchard land. So Rej Magush will be affected. Now Panjim also will be affected in many ways. A lot of traffic coming in. They're expecting 16,000 people a day. According to what they say, some 3 million people per year. So see how many So how much of traffic coming in, how much of air pollution is going to be there with all this carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and whatever. Now along with this passenger ropeway, they are going to have ancillary tourism activities. Now what exactly is this? Right now if you go near the swimming pool, you'll find parking for all children, everybody coming to the pool. Where they're going to park, don't ask me after this happens. Or they go to the indoor stadium. What is this ancillary tourism activities that is coming up there? Artificial skiing, tubing, artificial skydiving, aquarium, restaurant, kids activities zone. Do we need this in an overcrowded Panjim? Do we need all this? Everything seems so artificial. Everything is artificial here. We have natural surroundings. What are we getting this artificial stuff into our city? Aquarium. We need children to look at the aquarium and see fish in an aquarium because they're killing our Mandovi river with the casinos there and the amount of sewage that is out there. They're actually killing the river. Our fishermen are getting no proper fish. That is what they said the other day. Moreover, the CCP, the mayor of the CCP has asked the fishermen who are along that Kampal area to move out from there because their boats are dirty and they are creating their dirt.
What has happened is the government first has violated the High Court order. The High Court order clearly says that ODP 21 should be stayed and ODP 11 should be implemented. The FAR that has been given to these three projects on government land, whether at Quarterdeck, at the Panjim swimming pool area or Foodland area, the FAR are not as per ODP 11. The government has changed regulations and they have bypassed the law, and through the regulations they are giving this permission. Regulations cannot bypass an act. Okay, so they are violating the court order. Besides, again we are reiterating, these areas are flood prone areas and no construction is permitted, and the government should adhere to the rules. Now we have pointed out the construction permitted on government land. The entire Panjim, there are more areas marked as flood prone areas and permissions have been granted there also. And this increase in height and FAR arbitrary through some regulation is being done all over Goa. Today we are concentrating on Panjim to highlight the seriousness and the disaster that is awaiting Panjim.
I just want to make a slight this where after the ODP, the case has gone to court, government was allowed to use the ODP 2021 for government projects. However, let me make it very clear that all the height and FAR changes they have made is also beyond ODP 2021. Forget 2011, which is for everything else, but it's beyond ODP 2021 also.
Yeah, it is happening at a local level. It is very unfortunate that we have such limited vision in our leadership today. But we have enough examples abroad. And a famous example is something that was done in Curitiba, Brazil, 50 years ago, where one person with a vision had understood the issue of flood-prone areas, and instead of building next to the river, he allowed them to be parks so that people can enjoy them, and when the flood does happen, that is what takes the waters without damage. And the thing is, they say that as NGOs we are anti-development. My point is, you are allowing somebody to invest so much money in an area which is flood prone. Within the next 5-10 years you're going to see this. And investment is in crores. They're also going to lose out. It's not just us crying horse and being the usual anti-development lobby. That's not the case. I think each and every person in the city should rise up against this, because people are losing their access to the waterfront, which is also a very important thing for citizens of a place. So I think these are the real issues.
Would like to add anything?
But at the same time, as TCP Minister, please look into the issue of rezoning in all flood-prone areas of Panjim, which is against the order of Mr. Rajesh Naik, Chief Town Planner, and against the CRZ law in force. Please revert these areas into their existing zoning, and then we will know that you are really serious about greening of urban areas to lower heat levels and make it bearable for the people living in the cities. Thank you.